And allow me to just mention one or two things, just one or two things. I have listened to DK, Honorable DK, and he has explained why we should actually be in an alliance. And I thought he had brilliant ideas that we actually risk even destruction by these, major powers, superpowers. And I thought in my mind, I mean, why did the president in the first place get into this status of non-NATO?
He qualified the statement and said that this is his personal statement.
Yes, I know. Yeah. I'm getting to that. I'm actually not hitting on him. And I was like, why does the president not listen to people like DK, who actually come from his county? Why does the president choose to listen to people like Sudi, who may not even understand what NATO is? Why does the president choose to listen to people like, they are my ideas, we'll have you as DK. I mean, so I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying, if I was the president, I would really listen to people like DK, who has something to offer to advise me. Actually, DK should be clapping for me because probably I'm looking for a job for him. Instead of, discussing, listening to advices, pieces of advice from people who may not have the competence like DK, my friend here, has. I mean, it just got into me and I was like, we have some very brilliant people. If you have to listen to people from home, somebody like DK, somebody who can give you substantive information and advice. For DMM, I think I want to say that RSF is very different from the escapades that Museveni had when he was fighting for Uganda and what Salva Kiir did in, because these were not people who were meeting the president directly. The leader of RSF, Hemeti, is somebody, and the former deputy president has told us that he has been meeting the president himself, and there are reports of some diamond dealings. So I think it is wrong for DMM to compare the escapades of Hemeti to those of Museveni when he was actually a gorilla, and those of Salva Kiir. I think you may not, that comparison is not, does not match very well. But now coming to President Ruto's, bragging that he has, I remember he said that he has the courage of Jomo, the patience of Moi, the education of Kibaki, and the plan that they had with Uhuru Kenyatta. First of all, Fred, we need to be modest. Even if he had all those attributes, which I doubt, if I had time, I would prove to you, he doesn't have any of them. Of course, you would leave it to people to talk about them. In fact, anytime I introduce myself, I'll not tell you I'm Honorable Nyutu. I'll tell you I'm Nyutu. It's you to call me Senator or to call me Honorable. I mean, President Ruto has been in this space for a long time, for time long enough to know that you need to be modest. When, this PhD by Dr. William Ruto, I do not want to refute it, but the little I know about a PhD program, Fred, if you are serving as deputy president and you are writing a thesis and defending it, I think there are very many questions that we can raise about even this PhD that he boasts about. He said that he's the first PhD holder to occupy the office of the presidency. If we were going to, we would ask him, by the way, when did you defend this particular, when did you defend your thesis? When did you write it? And you are deputy president when you are doing all these things. You can imagine His Excellency Kindiki today with all the empowerment functions that he has to attend, and he tells you, for example, that he is writing a thesis and defending it. There are very many questions that we can ask ourselves. DMM, please, you can do better than this. It's my time. You'll get your time. But very briefly, there are many things that President Ruto, President Ruto should be told, never ever to compare himself with his predecessors. We have never seen any president that have killed young people at the rate at which he has. The last two presidents, his two predecessors, President Kibaki introduced free primary education and free secondary education.
I think in the movie,
Uhuru
it was a closing remark.
Uhuru Kenyatta, DMM, you're not the one managing time here, my brother. Just let Fred do his job. I mean, and if you think you want to manage time here, you can quit as member of parliament and come apply for a job here. So, I mean, I was just about to say that President Ruto, who wants to take the attributes of his predecessors, is now threatening through Mbadi to withdraw free primary and day secondary education. The corruption levels, of course there has always been corruption. I like being fair to him. There has always been corruption, but corruption levels in this country, violation of human rights, you know, having a very big number of advisors who advise him on nothing. He actually, nobody doesn't know in this country that President Ruto advises his advisors on how to advise him. No other president ever did that. Right. His intolerance is at another level. I mean, President Ruto is so vigilant. He doesn't forgive anybody, and that is why he has kicked out all the people who helped him ascend to the presidency. So when he says he has the patience of Moi, which patience? This is somebody, you come, for example, to a region where he got almost 50% of his vote. He has kicked out everybody who helped him ascend. So anyway, just very briefly, let President Ruto be modest. Let people talk about him, assess him, tell us, say what they think about him. It is not in his place to evaluate himself and give himself a scorecard. I give him personally 1 out of 10.
Okay.
You know, in the movie you have opened up